Welcome to the 2006 Pro Tour Honolulu. I'm Randy Bueller. I'm here with Mike Flores, and we are ready for this semifinal match. We're going to start out in the match between Craig Jones of England and Olivier Rouel of France. These guys have battled through 16 rounds of Swiss. They escaped the semifinals. Well, Craig Jones basically had a bye in the semifinals. He smashed Olivier's brother Antoine 3 straight. Olivier had a much tougher struggle, managed to pull out a tough 5-game match from Max Brack, and now he's trying to avenge his brother, right?
I was going to say the exact same thing. This is like a revenge match. You killed my brother? Yeah.
Craig Jones won the die roll and leads with a first-turn Purdy.
Ooh, with a forest.
Off the stomping ground, yeah, so he's already got the forest to play.
How insulting. Plague Rusaka.
Plague Rusaka. Not as good versus a 3-toughness Kurde, that's for sure. Nice Arabian Nights Kurde, too, huh?
What do we have here? Lion, Burning Tree Shaman, Flames of the Blood Hand. Bathen Light's going to be very nice in this matchup.
Savannah line comes down after the Kurde crunch is over. Have you gotten a look at Olivier's hand yet?
We have not seen.
He's got an Okiba Gang, he's got a Dark Confidant, some lands.
Ghost Council.
Ghost Council. Was that Tesa as well? Did he have? Yeah,
yes, he definitely has Tesa. But does he have enough
The full
land?
package of Mafia King is at least one. I think there's 2 there. Decides for Dark Confidant.
I think that's about right. He's just going to put Dark Confidant in front of something, I think.
Do you put Confidant or Rusaka in front of Savannah Line?
I think you just put. I think you put Confidant in front of it. I don't know. It's unclear if it's going to live.
Craig plays
He
the
might
third land.
gang block. No,
Smashes
that's terrible.
into the red
Gang
zone.
blocking. No block.
No block. Interesting.
No
I think
block.
I would have blocked.
I think I would have blocked as well. But level 6 mage.
Yeah, it's certainly hard to argue with Olivier Rouel.
When in doubt, level 6 mage.
Well, this creature's still in the red zone. Olivier may actually be thinking. No, 17 to 14. He takes
Maybe
4.
it's just because he needs a land. I think it's possible.
Burning Tree Shaman comes.
Burning Tree Shaman's such a great foil to.
Confidant reveals.
Should have blocked.
Takes 4 from Ghost Council. Well, if you needed to land, he still had. You do what you got to do.
But should have blocked is such a great thing to say.
He had 2 land in his hand, so did not need the land.
Really should have blocked.
I think did he want to? Yeah, I think I would have blocked it.
He has a superb block here. Now, if he has another black, he can go Council on Shaman, Rusalka on Lion, and then double sack, kill Shaman. He takes 1,000,000 damage on that, though. He takes 1,000,000 damage, and he could really be on the wrong end of Bathen Light, which, I mean, obviously he doesn't know it's in his hand. And
takes 2 from the lands in order to play Tesa. 2 more from the Stomping Ground, so Olivier's all of a sudden at 8 as Craig Jones untaps for his 4th turn.
Yeah, Flames of the Blood Hand is in Craig's hand. Craig's just going to crash here. Any kind of inefficient block, and Olivier's dead.
Not looking great for Olivier.
Pretty much.
Well, we'll see. Craig untaps Savannah Lion, Kurde, Burning Tree Shaman. Meanwhile, on the other table, a bunch of mulliganing. Tiago mulligan once. Easy going in for his 2nd mulligan right now.
What's your play here, Randy?
If I'm Craig?
It's definitely all 3 red zones somehow, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I mean, there's no way he's on the wrong end of the trade.
Yeah, you just... I mean, it's not even any untapped mana for the Rusalka.
Yeah,
shove him in. He's even got Bathen Light if something goes horribly wrong. He's got 2 Bathen Lights, Flames of the Blood Hand, and Savannah Line in his hand. So he can...
he's going to bathe...
Oh, he can go... he's going to Falter here.
Bathe,
Give him all protection from red and crunch for 7.
Protection from black?
Sorry, protection from black, obviously. That's not bad. Oh, but the Savannah Line doesn't see it. Never mind.
He doesn't have to swing either.
Yep. Take one. And
So 5 damage drops Olivier to 3.
This seems academic.
That's why, I guess that's why he's playing and we're sitting in the booth. Shove him in is not as good as Pro Black. Oh, and Dark Confidant does the damage. Okiba Gang Shinobi off the top. Olivier dies at the beginning. That was the beginning of his 4th turn, right? He had 3 turns.
What about blocking?
Yeah, Dark Confidant dealt 8 damage to him that game. Bob Maher was working for Craig Jones in that game. And Craig Jones takes a blisteringly fast 1-0 lead. I don't think the back tables even finished resolving their mulligans yet, and Craig's already up a game.
Mike Turian told me the thing that I do worst, of the many things that are bad in my game. He says, I'm unwilling to trade a good card for a bad card. He says, I lose unlimited with Mortify and Last Gasp in my hand, and that shouldn't happen. And Olivier had the number 2 card on the Japanese valuation list, and it aided him instead of trading with Lion. He would have been up 10 life there, right? Had he traded.
So what happens to these matchups after sideboarding?
I think it gets better for both of them in some sense. Like, definitely, it might just Craig's anti-Jitte weapons seem better. He has more Jittes. Hooligan's just a better card than Terashi's Grasp, I think.
Yes.
Like, it costs less mana, and it gives you something to put your Jitte on. I'm wondering if he's bringing Guerrilla Tactics in.
Brainiac is asking if you had the mana to cast the Guerrilla Tactics in your story.
I had.
Yes, that's how I heard the story, too.
It's just, I don't know what was going through my head. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. He's gonna take. He's gonna take 4, but I would have directed it to Hypno anyway, right? I don't even. All I remember was voluntarily taking a Hypno hit. Then after taking the Hypno hit and not getting the Guerrilla Tactics taken, and plus it's 2 life, you know.
Yep. Now the whole old school, new school thing going on this weekend is kind of cool. 10-year anniversary, the big cake yesterday to celebrate the Pro Tour's birthday. We're playing Standard again too. It doesn't even think about the fact that you can compare those top 8 Standard decks to these top 8 Standard decks.
There has to be Standard Pro Tour every year.
You think?
Standard's the look at every single Standard, not counting the first one. Every single Standard Pro Tour has such an awesome top 8. This top 8's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a
for
great
the current crop of talent.
It's an interesting set of decks. It's a great set of named players. Absolutely.
The last Standard Pro Tour had 6 Pro Tour champions, and the scrub players were Grand Prix top 8 player and Kibler. The Dragon Master was the second worst player in that top.
A JSS champion in Kibler.
And he's a JSS. Like
Jay Ellerar is the weak link in that Chicago team.
And he's a JSS champion. Kibler's a multi-Grand Prix champion. And the other 6 guys...
2-time U.S. National 6th place finisher.
The other guys are all Pro Tour champions.
Sure. So, one of the problems with trying to have a Standard Pro Tour every year is that there's just more formats that are sort of interesting to play at the Pro Tour level than there are Pro Tours in a year. I mean, there was this... I think the Pro Tour got in a rut for a couple of years there where every year it was extended in block. Every year it was extended in block. And a booster draft and a team draft. And so I'm really happy with the way the new Pro Tour system is sort of... We're going to handle the schedule every year and mix it up. But I think that means you mix it all up, right? It means every year you have a different thing, and over the course of 3 to 5 years, I think you want to cycle through 3 or 4 different constructed formats.
Well, you're always going to want to have a block every year, right?
Well, you can't, and you're always going to want to have an extended every year, so you can't do everything every year.
I'm fine with not having an extended every year. I think you almost have to have a block there just to showcase the new sets. I think that's a big important thing.
I think there are more formats that are interesting than there are constructed Pro Tours in a year. There's only 2 constructed Pro Tours per year, so I think...
Cut some limited Pro Tours.
If you have Standard... Anyway, that's the logic inside the company.
I hear you.
I've been in those conversations, and I think it's nice progress that we're not going to try to pick one optimal year, but instead rotate through and mix it up every year. I think that's the right answer. And I will say, I think this weekend has been spectacular, and I certainly